Welcome to your Monday Gap Mastermind. Thank you, Rebecca, for inviting me to do the introductions today. I'm super excited. Hope everyone is having a great start of your week. And today we have an amazing speaker, like we always do in this space that our Global Alliance leaders give to us, so we can get golden nuggets every single week. But before I introduce our speaker for today, I want to remind everyone about the amazing cruise that a lot of us are going to in August. Build at C24. If you haven't got your tickets, if you haven't reserved, please go into the website buildatc24.com and learn more about this. We're going to have great speakers, and it's a great opportunity to learn, grow, and network with our peers. Also, Rebecca asked me to remind you that all of this Gap Mastermind are recorded in the Global Alliance University. So make sure you have an account. And if you want to go back and refresh your memory on these amazing sessions that we have, go ahead and have an account and go back and learn on a regular basis. Anyway, our speaker of the day is Gaby Aparicio. I call her the queen of open houses. I've been in her sessions before and she's amazing. I learned so many golden nuggets from you before that I go and apply into my business. Open houses for me are the Bible of real estate, and you need to be very intentional about open houses, right, Gaby? So whatever we can learn from you today, I'm all ears. A little bit about Gaby. She is an international real estate broker and team leader at the Golden Blake team at eXp Realty. Her background helped her create amazing connections all over the world. She has years of real estate experience helping first-time home buyers, investors, and clients relocating to Florida to find their perfect home. Not only that, like I said, she's the queen of open houses. If you are out there in production like me and enjoy doing open houses, she's your go-to, and I'm sure they're gonna get a lot of value from Gaby today. Take it away, Gaby.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to share with all of you what I have learned so far and why I am a firm believer that open houses work for sure. And like you said, Veronica, the key word here is intentional, right? We have to be intentional in life, in our business, and in with these open houses. We have to be intentional with what we do. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had a call coming in. But anyway, we have to be intentional, and we have to have not only be intentional, but have a clear sense of direction, right? We have to know why are we doing this, especially because for some people, open houses are not that fun, right? So why are you doing it? Why? Are you doing it because you heard you should do it? Are you doing it because your team leader is requiring you to do it? Why are you doing it? So if we don't know why we're doing things, we won't know how to be intentional about this and for what we're doing it. So obviously, as we know, open houses increase the chances of you not to only get double-side your commission, but also to get a pool of buyers who are actively looking to purchase a home in the near future, correct? So not only you get to maybe double-side, but you know that only one person can buy that house, but you're probably gonna get hopefully at least 10 people walk into your open house, maybe more, maybe less. But no matter what the amount of people is, you now have those leads that you didn't have before, especially if you're a new agent. You should definitely be doing open houses for sure. And before we even start with the open houses, I wanted to ask a few questions to you. And I want you to think about these questions and answer yourself later on. Meditate on these questions and see if you have a clear direction about these three things. So I want to know if you know what type of agent are you? What type of agent are you? Now, the second question is, do you have a brand? Do you believe that you have a brand, or do you know what your brand represents? That's the third question. What does my brand represent? If you do have a brand, do you know what your brand represents? So take a moment after this Zoom is over and be honest with yourself and answer these questions. And I challenge you to work on this because this is the foundation of anything you do in your business, right? This is everything that you are is going to pour over whatever you do in this business. Okay. So now what do I mean by saying you have to be intentional and having clear direction when doing open houses? Of course, each house that you list is different, right? First, you have to identify based on the area or the type of house, who would probably be the best buyer or avatar that we call it, right, for this type of property. And this is really what I use the most when I host these open houses. I don't do open houses the same. One thing that I do is that I really, really customize the experience based on the house. Obviously, I do luxury more. So this allows me to cater and tailor a little bit more and add more details to my open houses. But obviously, you don't have to go all the way out when you do open houses, but you do have to do a little something different. So again, be intentional. You have to know which type of buyer will probably end up buying this house that I'm listing. Or if it's not your listing, you might be asking, looking for listings that are in your farm area, and you can contact these listing agents. You'll be surprised how many of them would tell you, yes, you can host an open house in my listing. And that way, once you know your avatar, you get to start working the open houses the way you want them. So make sure that you know who would probably more than likely buy this home. What does that person look like? Is it a family? Is it a single bachelor? Is it so what vibe is the house giving you? And based on that vibe that the house gives me is how I plan my actual open house. So for example, a house in a family area, I serve Orlando and Miami, right? But a house, give me 1 second. A house in Dr. Phillips, or a house in Winter Park, or a house in Miami, totally different buyers, right? Totally different sellers. So I have to think about, okay, what would this type of buyer would be for this house? For example, if it's a family area or a house where people live with young children, I will probably do more of thing to attract the kids or the parents. So like a hot dog stand, a popcorn stand, a cotton candy stand, something that catches their eye, right? Or like if it's a luxury home where I know that probably they're already done with the kids went to college, then I do something more upscale. I could do like a hibachi dinner or a sushi stand with like wine. So it really depends on the house and the type of person that I think will end up buying this property. So this is where you have to get a little bit creative and try to personalize. One thing that I characterize myself for is to personalize everything that I do. I do cookies with the logo or cookies with the house that look just like the house. So just try to see what can you do different that you can show this client that you're not the average realtor doing average things, right? You're a great realtor and you do great things. So make sure that you are applying that creative process, that creative nature skill that God gave you into your business. Now, that's a little bit of how I plan the open house. Now let's talk about the steps to host a successful open house, because we don't just show up at the open house, right? We don't just go and they're like, okay, let me put my sense tomorrow and that's it. Host an open house. I brought some snacks and let's go. No, we have to be, again, very intentional. So first you want to analyze the property, the area and the demographics. Like I said, if it's not your listing, try to find a property in the area that you want to take and call the agent to ask if you can host the open house on them. And then after you have identified this house, step number 2 would be to pick a date, right? I try to do this a week prior at least. And also, very important, put it on the MLS. Weekends are better, always. Remember, you want to be intentional and do it on the days that you get more traction. Obviously, most people work from Monday to Friday, right? So don't do things just to do them or because your team leader said so. You have to be intentional again. If you go into these open houses, do it with a passion. So make sure that you put the open house, like I said, on the MLS is really important, because once you put it on the MLS, it will feed to Zillow, to Realtor.com, and all these sites, letting anybody that say this house is their favorite know that you are actually hosting an open house in this property, right? Number 3, you want to partner up with your lender or your title company so you can share the cost. Obviously, for new agents, this could be a little tricky. You have to prove yourself a little bit, because obviously for your partners to start pouring into you, giving you these things have to give them business as well, right? This is an equal exchange. So, but if you are an agent that is already using somebody and actively sending them clients, make sure that you are also collaborating with them and partnering it up with them to share the cost and let them know what dates and what you're wanting them to collaborate or contribute with. And that's a very, very resourceful partnership there with your lender and your title. They're gonna get the business too. So make sure you're being fair to them and you're not giving the business to somebody else if they're the ones that are helping you host this open house, right? And number 4 will be to order your door hangers or print your flyers no later than Monday. If your open house is on Saturday, print your MLS sheets and any other materials that you want to bring. Okay, it's important that you don't forget about your MLS sheets with all the information, because then people are going to start going there and asking you questions. And if you forgot to print them and bring them, you're going to be in trouble again. Number 5 will be to go to Google Maps and see which streets are the busiest leading to the house and where should you put your signs at. So you want to be putting signs on major intersections that lead to the house, busy streets. And speaking about signs, you also have to be intentional with them. So my signs, for example, don't have any arrow, but I do this intentionally again because I want them to text the number there. So it says it has a call to action. All my signs have a call to action. They say text house to my CRM number, so the number that's connected to your CRM, right? So when they text it, I already set up behind the scenes in my CRM a call to action text that once they text a word, a keyword, they're going to receive a link and all the information about the open house, where the house is, what time, the link to the house, all these things. But not only that, I already captured that lead, right? So even if he never makes it, I already captured that lead, right? So you want to be intentional with your signs as well. And I probably use around 25 signs at least. So the more signs, the better, right? You don't want to do less than that. Um, Number 6 is also important. Order the food ahead of time and make sure everything is paid for and confirmed, right? You don't want to be rushing the day before or the day off and, oh my God, nobody paid for this. This is not ready. Make sure you order your food ahead of time and make sure everything's paid for. Number 7, advertise your open house in your social media platforms halfway through the week. I probably do it on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I'll do it again the day before the open house, and that has worked for me the best. You also want to door knock the day before. I door knock either with my title partner or my lender partner, and I either bring the door hangers or the flyers. I invite all the neighbors. And why? Because this is an opportunity to showcase your work live, right? This is probably the only time where they actually get a preview, a seller gets a preview of what would you do and how would you do things to market their property. So this is a free showcase of your work. So you want to make sure that you invite every neighbor, because normally, like in all my luxury homes, 9 times out of 10, I got at least one listing from the seller being so impressed on how I do my open houses, right? So it's important that you door knocks also, because who door knocks nowadays, right? So they're like, oh, you're personally coming here to invite me to this open house. You're like, yes, just come by, give me your opinion. Obviously, they're not gonna buy the house, but just wanted to let them know, or maybe they have friends or somebody that they want to bring by. But I just tell them, just come by, give me your opinion. I will have drinks, food for you. I promise you it will be a good time. Just come over. And they usually do show up. So make sure that you door knock the day before and you invite them over. Number 9 will be the day before. Also make sure to have your signing sheet or the open house app set up. If you are with EXP and you use KB Core, I love KB Core. It's free. Already comes with what you get in here by being in EXP, right? It's one of the best CRMs. You don't need to pay for an additional one. It has a lot more capabilities than follow-up bus, and a lot of people use follow-up bus, but you have this for free already. You need to learn how to use it, right? So you can activate your open house campaign. You can download the KV Core open house app. Everything is linked together. So once somebody signs up in your app, it automatically connects it to your CRM and then automatically starts following up with them in case you forget, right? But you have to make sure that there's not only you're signing up, but obviously there has to be a campaign behind it, a follow-up system, and everything else behind it. So make sure that the day before you have that set up. If you're using an app, make sure that you check that there's Wi-Fi at the property, or what are you gonna do about that? If not, your old school piece of paper, you can always add them to your CRM later on, but you have to have some type of signing sheet. So make sure you have everything prepared the day before. Also bring a speaker if there's no surround system in the house or something, you want to provide a little bit of a atmosphere. So make sure you always carry a speaker with you to bring into the open house. And make sure that your call to action text is set up correctly also, because obviously if I do open houses every weekend, then I have to every weekend change the link, right? And change the message of the address of the property, the link to the property, and the time. So make sure all of this is set up, that you have everything ready the day before. And the day of the open house, number 10, make sure to arrive at least, I would say 90 minutes. I would say at least an hour and a half before, because it does take time. And the worst mistake I see people making is rushing, putting everything together, and there's nobody to greet people when they start walking in. And normally there will be people walking in. The first one at 12, if your open house starts at 2 p.m. on the dot, right? So you want to make sure that you have to set up nicely. You have to put all your 25 signs. You have to make sure you're presentable. Ladies, you have to wear flats or sneakers while you do all of this, because you will be done before the open house starts. If you're not comfortable, you can always change into your heels later on and put them on once you're done with the prep, right? But you have to make sure that you are on time and you're not being rushed and pressured, so that you can deliver the best experience possible. So if that will take you time yourself, if it takes you an hour, then go there an hour before. If it takes you 90 minutes, then 90 minutes it is, but at least an hour, 90 minutes before. And yes, Veronica, sometimes it's super hot outside, so you have to make sure that sometimes if it's during the summer, you just go in sweats to do the setup, and then you can change and put your nice outfit and your heels when the open house actually starts. For sure, I have to do that a couple of times, so definitely. Um, Number 11, put everyone who attended to the open house in an open house campaign. Normally, if you have, like I said, KB Core, if you link the open house app to your CRM and you have the open house campaign active, then it will automatically start sending them texts and thank you for visiting my open house, and all the follow-up leading after the open house. And number 12, the following Monday, make sure to call everyone who attended and follow up all the way. The key here, like anything else, is to follow up, right? Because what is this show and all these things that you're doing if we're not going to follow up and get the sale or get the lead to actually become a buyer, even if it's not for this house? So you got to make sure that you call, that you set a date to call, be very systematic, be very intentional about what you do and how you do it. And that's the easiest way for you to build your pipeline and grow your business. Any questions?
Gabriella, that was so amazing. So thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Hey guys. So Damika here. I'm on to do some Q&A with you. I think that was amazing. I think a lot of agents don't realize how important open houses are to growing your business. So thank you so much for sharing what you've been doing. So I see we have a couple of questions in the chat. So I just want to go and present those questions to you, if that's okay. You mentioned something about having like a cotton candy stand or a sushi stand or something like that. Tell us about that, and how do you actually is it vendors, or how do you plan that?
Well, well, obviously, yes, I get vendors because I cannot be there serving myself at the same time, right? So you do want to get somebody that is going to be there either servicing your clients, or just if it's like a sushi stand, I just set it up because it's like self-serve, right? But like I said, I just think about I think about the house first. What vibe does this house give me, and who do I think is going to end up buying this house? And based on that is how I plan everything around it, right? So like I said, if it's a family style type of home, then I would do things to attract the kids. If it's more of a grown vibe, then hibachi or sushi or something like that. There's so many things available. There's like little charcuterie cups that you do too with wine. If it was more of that winter park vibe, let's say, then I really get inspired by the house.
Okay. Okay. That's amazing. So what type of budget do you set aside for something like this? Or do you mainly leverage, your vendors for costs like this or your
Yes.
partners?
So obviously I do a lot of luxury open houses, so that's why I get to do this type of open houses. I know it's not normal. I wouldn't do it for a 300, $500,000 home. Obviously, there's still nice things that you can do, like your custom cookies or something nice that's not gonna break the bank for you, but you could still do it and do things differently or your own thing. Look, I have my little popcorn boxes that say thanks for popping by with the logo and popcorn. How much is popcorn? A bag of popcorn, so just thinking outside the box and doing the depending on the house. For the expensive ones, the luxury homes, yes, I for sure partner up with my lender and title, and they share the cost with me, and we split it 3 ways basically, and that's how we do them, because if not, they could get pretty pricey depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So we have another question in the chat about signage. So some neighborhoods don't allow signage. So how do you get around that?
Yes. So that's why it's important to do a combination of everything. They might not allow it in the community, but you can put your signs, like I said, if they don't have arrows or anything and you just need a call to action, you can put them outside of the community and the main roads and everything leading to the community. You just can't do it inside the community. And also, that's why it's important to put it on the MLS, because then digital is the way to go. You could either do a post and boost it, right, on the area that you're hosting the open house at digitally. And then obviously organically, when you put it on the MLS, it will feed off to all the sites and let them know that you're hosting an open house and the time of the open house for that property.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, don't forget, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. So I'm going to be asking them to Gabriela. So another question that I have is for marketing. So you mentioned you do marketing like a couple of days before the open house. Is that mainly videos or is it posts? Like which platform? How are you handling that?
It's an open house flyer, basically with pictures of the house, what time the open house will be held, the address of the house, and that's what I would do for marketing the actual open house, either halfway through the week and
Okay.
then a day before the open house.
Okay. Do you do like any video or any other marketing the day of the open house?
Well, the day of the open house, yes, I want to make sure that I record a little bit of what's going on so that you can also post the results back into your social media the next day, right? Or later that day of the traction or what you did, how you showcased everything. You remember you got to document everything, because that's how the people that didn't get to go to the open house will see how you do things, right? A lot of you guys maybe have seen my open houses without even being in them, just because I post them on my social media, right? So remember to utilize all your platforms. They're there to help you grow your business. They give you thousands of eyes, if not millions, that is for free. So start growing your page, recording what you already do, right? Just showcase your work. You are already doing it. So you just got to record it and put it out there.
I love that. I love that. So, questions about luxury listings. So, I have one, and then I see a couple in the chat. So, luxury listings, alcohol or no alcohol at those?
Yes, I do. Sometimes I even bring a mobile bar, but it's the buyer's choice to drink or not to drink. I mean,
Okay.
fortunately I haven't have anybody got drunk at an open house. They usually take 1 or 2 drinks and that's it. I mean, they're not gonna stay there forever. So it's just either, and it's
Gotcha.
nothing crazy. Normally I always have champagne or mimosas or something, or a specific drink. I do when it's the mobile bar catering. Then I try to customize the drink to the house name and then my team, something that like makes you remember my team or the house, and a special drink about it. So that's another thing you can do. But yeah, I don't see why
That's
not.
nice. I love that. I love that. So, other thing about luxury listings, are they primarily broker opens or are they open houses for the public?
So I do both together. I do both together.
Okay.
And it's better because then you get that buyer's remorse, right? Anybody that's there that sees, oh my God, there's so many people. They don't know how many are realtors. They don't know how many are brokers, right? That are there. So you want to get the most traction that you can, especially the first weekend when you list. You should always do an open house the first weekend when the house is fresh into the market, brand new, and get as much traction as you can.
I love that. I love that. Now, do you create a Facebook event around your open houses?
Somebody's showing a
Looks like,
video.
yeah,
So that's
Veronica's showing something. Yeah.
yeah, so that's the mobile bar.
That's so cool.
We had espresso martinis and some mimosas. And so you see
I
the
wanted you
logo.
guys to get a visual, and please go to her IG, follow her. You can get tips and her setup. It's just every single time a class act. That's why she's here.
The kids love
I
it.
love that.
Fun, make it fun, make cater to the type of house that you're doing. Like I said, that's really what inspires me. What inspires me is the house. So when I see the house, I'm like, okay, what should I do here? What can I do different? And that's that's how I get inspired. And to try to be different
I
and
love
creative
that.
these different ways.
I love that. So do you actually do Facebook events for these,
I
or do you
actually
just kind of just
don't.
do based off your marketing?
I actually don't.
Okay.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. Maybe you should because anything else that you do increases the chances of somebody showing up, right? But honestly, I don't. Facebook is not my place to be. It's Instagram. So I try to do everything through Instagram, and mainly also remember it's not just about social media. Social media is to showcase your work, but really it's in the basic. It's we gotta go back to the basics, right? The old school way. Put it on the MLS. Make sure that you record it there. Make sure you print your flyers. Make sure you door knock. Make sure you're doing all the basic things that we know that have worked for years and they're still working today. This is just later on you get to showcase this in your social media platforms, but don't just depend on social media to get business, right?
I love that. These videos are really sparking my thought process. So do you have a list of vendors for like the stickers, the wine stickers, the cookies? Like, do you have, people that you go to for this stuff that you can share?
So yes, my cousin has a company and she does a lot of my stuff for me. And then most of the things that I do printed, like my buyer's guide, my flyers, all my door hangers, all these things, I do it through my title company because they offer a special pricing that's a lot more affordable than doing it yourself. But yeah, that's what your partners are there for.
Okay. I mean, yeah, those are amazing. Like you had the napkins, you had everything. So I really can see how when people come into your open house, it's like, wow, this is an amazing experience. So great job just all around doing that. What questions does anyone else have as Veronica continues to show these
Yes,
beautiful videos?
Veronica.
Like these are amazing marketing videos. Amazing.
That's not an open house, but it was my Valentine's Day. But
I think for me, it's
I love
important for
it.
you guys to understand that Gabby just, she represents the brand that she's putting out there. A lot of times people are like, oh, I want to break into luxury, but, they aren't willing to invest or they're not focusing on those markets. Gabby is selling in Miami. She's selling in New York. She's selling it. Even if she's not in that state, she's partnering with an agent who's a badass in that state and they're collaborating. Her videos are always top of the line. Even when she's just branding herself, she just represents that brand, of course, right? And we all have our unique brand, but I wanted you guys to go and follow her IG and gain inspiration. So you could, I get to pick her brain all the time and like just chat with her. And that's why I'm super excited that you guys get to learn from her. And she didn't always sell luxury homes, but she always represented high quality in everything that she did. Always represented that attention to detail. I met Gabby when Gabby was a brand new agent. And to watch her over the last decade, just evolve into this amazing, she represents luxury. In a way that she's respected amongst our industry by the best of the best. So I just want you to know, like, even when she wasn't selling luxury, she was always striving for excellence in everything that she did with all of her marketing material and how she came across. So own that brand.
That's why I gave you guys the 3 questions that is your homework to do later on. Don't forget to answer those questions, which is what type of agent I am. If you missed it, here's the 3 questions. What type of agent am I? That's number 1. Number 2, do I have a brand? And number 3, what does my brand represent? This is the foundation of your business and everything you do, because this is who you are, right? And you don't want to do what I'm doing, what she's doing, what Veronica's doing. You know, you want to do what works for you, and you got to know yourself and what you represent and the type of client you want to attract. It might not be luxury, it might be first-time home buyers. Maybe you have a passion for helping people. So identify who you are, what type of agent you are. Do you have a brand? What does your brand represent? And work from there. That's your foundation right there. Yep.
I love that. I love that. A couple of more questions before you go. So let's see. How much of your business are you actually getting from open houses?
I would say probably 20%. 20%.
Okay. Okay. And when you're doing the door knocking, are you handing anything out or giving them anything when you stop by their houses?
Yes, I normally bring door hangers. So if they're not home, I leave the door hanger in their door. And that's what I use usually. That's why I have to prep at least a week before the open house to make sure all my printed marketing material is ready and is delivered before Friday, which is the day. Let's say the open house is Saturday. I have to make sure it's there by Friday. So Friday afternoon, I can go door knock the day before.
Okay. Okay. That's
And
amazing.
just for
So
the record,
another question in the chat.
Wait, real quick,
Go
can I
ahead.
interrupt that? Just for the
Yeah.
record, these aren't your grandma door knockers. This is not your basic door knockers. These door knockers are like massive, beautiful, well-designed, like in your face. This is very intentional. And again, Gabby being my friend that I get to spend time with, she's a planner. She plans in advance. So those sellers that are saying, list my house and go on the market tomorrow, Gabby's going to take control because she's the expert. She has a process, right? Same thing with her title companies, these beautiful booklets that she has here. I actually I keep Gabby's stuff around as inspiration. Actually, I have it in my backpack. I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. But like beautifully designed, printed material. They're not your basic door hangers. They are custom designed. And Gabby, I think that's where you partner with your title company, right?
Yes. To print those guides and things are a lot more expensive per unit to print than just like even flyers, but yes.
And real quick, before Damika asks the next question, do you have a sample of one of your what do you call those? Those iPad looking like
Oh,
boxes
the video.
that you do for your luxury listings? I'd love for everybody to see that.
Yes, I do. Well, actually, let me show you guys. Here's one of my buyer's guides. So I will have one of these, right? I will have these at the open house.
Abby, take the virtual screen away so we can see it. I don't care what
know.
your background looks like.
Let me take it off.
If you don't mind. If not, then I can grab mine because I'm always stalking you.
There you go. All right. So these are the buyer's guides right here. So I will have this at the open house desk. And then here this is only for my luxury clients that I have these video brochures. So they look like this. And then you can start. So this is for the luxury expires, right? I use this one, for example, for a luxury expire that I want to go after. But you can basically upload any video that you want. So, you can do this as well. You have to just think outside the box, see what people are not doing, they're not used to. They're going to be like, oh, wow, this is different. I have received a bunch of emails and calls and maybe brochures from agents, but I have not received one of these, right? So, and also they get to see your face, they get to hear you, they get to really connect with you more than a piece of paper, right? So.
And this is why she's the queen of open houses, expireds, and luxury, guys. And those on average, Gabby, I know you have a custom company that you use.
Yes.
People can budget anywhere between what, $60 to $100, depending on the bulk.
Yep. 65 to 85. Mm-hmm.
So guys, are you really investing in your business? Or are you just another agent, right? So imagine showing up as a buyer's agent or a luxury agent or a listing agent, right? With this type of unique value proposition, especially with everything that's happening and everybody saying, well, how do I stand out? Who's going to win more listings? Who's going to win more buyers? Who's going to be able to articulate their value proposition? I'm betting on someone like Gabby, as well as you guys, because we're all sharing and we're learning, right? We're all coming together to collaborate and share together. And Gabby is just gifting us these nuggets, gifting us this gold for you guys to think outside of the box. Maybe you don't have the same budget. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's something else, but dare to think differently. And Gabby, thanks so much for sharing. D'Amica, I felt like you froze there, or you were just like, your mouth got a little bit like, oh,
I know, right? I froze my internet
but it was the
connection. Yes,
perfect
I'm
read
back.
because you were
Hopefully I'm
like,
back.
but I didn't mean to hijack that. I just know a little bit about her business. So I wanted to kind of like make sure she showed us some of those visuals, because I don't know about you, but they're pretty badass.
Thank you.
They're bad. Yeah, they're bad. So I'm thinking to myself, do you have a link for how do you, get those little iPad things, and maybe like a example of your door knocker? I think a couple people asked about seeing that too.
Yes, so send me a DM, follow my page if you're not, Golden Black with a QUE _ real estate. And you can DM me and I'll send her information, because she doesn't have a website or anything. She's my cousin and she has a company and she does it for me. So that's just what it is. No secret.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to put your cousin on the map, because I can only imagine if
Oh
you really
yes,
put her information out there and she really starts.
They say I need to switch to marketing, right? No, well, I don't know if you guys know, but here in this business and in anything else, let the best marketer win. You might have the best product, but if you do not market correctly and you do not make sure that you showcase it to the work in the world in the right light, you might be holding the best kept secret, but nobody's gonna know. So here, the best marketer wins all the time. Yep.
I love that.
If I
love that.
can chime in, D'Amica and Veronica. So Gabby, just does a stellar job, as we know, but I think that that's the thing that you have mastered so much, which is the culture marketing, right? This is the culture that you have in your company. This is how you treat your customers. This is what is passed down through the transaction of, partnering up with you. So you do such a good job at, identifying when you need to hire a videographer and a photographer to capture the quality whenever you execute at a high level, but you never miss a beat when it comes to also getting the content on your phone. And, at the closing table, you were with some clients and you had Louis Vuitton bags, and, those are the details, or the Tiffany bags. Those are the details that people are like, wow, why wouldn't I work with someone? Even me, I'm like, why wouldn't I purposely choose someone who is also going to be so exclusive in the way that they treat me back? Because this is not a one-way street, right? So you do a really good job of capturing with your phone. And maybe walk us through that. Like, how do you always get the content? Because sometimes you're doing all the things, but you never miss a beat, girl. And you're always posting. You do all the posting, you do all the editing when it comes to your own social media?
I do everything. I do everything. So there's really no excuse, you guys, because you all have an iPhone in your hands. You always have your phone. You're either texting or doing something, but I don't know. You, like I said, this is your opportunity to showcase your work. So if you don't do it, who's gonna do it for you? And if you complain about, oh, I don't want to pay a videographer because it's $500, $1,000 for them to go, then you do it. Who else is going to do it? You do it. You run your own business. So we have to be accountable and take accountability. How much is my business growing because of me, and how much is not growing because of me? Right? You have your
Well, and
friends, right?
Gabby, I know
That's a
you
good
enough to
one.
know that Gabby's like, I'm not putting this in hands of anybody. Gabby's like, I am the creative director. I am the
Yes,
boss.
I
I am the
am.
one. She's like, to be Gabby's friend, you've got to be ready to be bossed around. Because she's like, oh no, honey, we need this angle and we need this, and I need you to stand here. So going to dinner with her, it's a whole production. And she does that in everything that she does and how she runs her
I think
list.
that is just the way I am. It's just the way I am. That is just.
But we love you for that. We love you for that.
That is easy
That's
for
what
me to
makes you
capture this thing And that's why also you want to make sure that you're not rushing, that when you go ahead of time. When you plan your open house, go 90 minutes before, so you're not rushing and setting up. Put your signs up, you set up your beautiful table or your beautiful display, you get to record it, you get to record a house, you get to do your video saying, hey guys, I'm doing an open house today. Isn't that, if you're rushing and if you got there 30 minutes before, you're not going to have time to do any of this, right? So you got to think about everything. And once it starts getting busy, yeah, you're probably going to be focused on your clients and the people that are working in, but you can quickly, for literally it takes 30 seconds to do a quick video, and boom, that's it. Later on, after the open house is done, then I do it. Now, look, Jenny, with those will help me a lot.
So let me just add this to this mastermind because we are masterminding. Okay. I need to share this with you because I've been testing these for a week. These are the new Meta glasses. Veronica gifted me this for my work anniversary, and I want to share with you guys that they are next level. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the commercials, but when you put these on, these glasses have these are transitional, so you could wear them indoor and outdoor. They become sunglasses outside, but indoor is where I do most of my capturing, right? So it has a camera here and it has a light here to indicate that you're recording. So if I just say, hey, Meta, record a video, you'll see the light and I start recording a video. So I could do walkthroughs through properties. I could do my own content using my hands and not having to be, distracted with the phone. I can do, just recording the behind the scenes of my open house being jam packed, right? I can live stream. So this is very social media friendly. These are only 60-second clips, 15-second clips, 30-second clips, but you could live stream for as long as you wanted. So if you have an account that maybe is just private, but you're like, let me capture the live stream so that it's not taking memory on my phone or my eyes, this is all Facebook, Meta, like intertwined. This is a creator's dream come true. Also, let me tell you, it's got AI in your ear now. So you can stare at something and say, what am I looking at? Or if you're in Paris and you're in front of the Eiffel Tower and you want to know more information on the monuments. So when you're travelers, it's going to tell you amazing information. It can tell you what kind of a dog breed you're looking at, what kind of an animal, like it is AI on steroids. So you can really use them for like next level learning. Probably maximize it for real estate too with AI. So maybe like what kind of marble is this island when you're walking through a property and you're like needing to, say what kind of marble or finishes. I'm sure that these glasses will give you that information. So they are next level. It takes pictures, videos. It has the hands-free talking on your phone or music. I mean, guys, Veronica cracked the code. She's gifting them to our top producers and she's like, go out there and make more content, right? So
yeah, so one of my things was like, how do I scale content this year and how do I make it so where no one has an excuse and I myself have zero excuse? And also for training, I need to train someone, just record the video. Just record it, or I don't want any excuses. Like there's no reason. We can now record hands free. So it's a really great investment. And also take it to the next level. Like I have readers, like I'm getting old, I can't see anything without my glasses. So I ordered 2 pairs. One is my fashion one, and the other one is taking them in for prescriptions. And now I have no excuse. I always have a reason to record, or no excuse, right? Harold does our BPOs for us, and he inspected 160 properties over the last 4 months, right? Property valuations. And just recently when he got the glasses, he was like, oh, this is next level walkthrough. He was like, because now we can send it to the asset manager with a recording of what it feels like before we even go live and before the photographer gets out there. So yeah, a lot of cool things, but not to take away from Gabby, I'm sure with these glasses, you'll just even crush your content.
Even better, right? There's no excuses really. Now you don't even have to pull out your phone. You just have to, well, actually, you just have to ask Meta, right? Ask Meta.
And well, the funny thing is, the other day, Maluma was on social media and he did a video and someone was like, how is he recording and no one's in the screen? I'm just blown away how many people don't even know about this. And every time I go to buy some, they're either out of stock or, so I've like bought a bunch of pre-order stuff because they have some new ones coming out and I'm like pre-ordering them. but I can't believe so many people don't know about it. So I want this group to be the first group. If your birthday's coming up, wish list, anniversaries, or you're coming into a closing, this is an investment you should make to take your content and your business to the next level. I want to see all of us on Zoom with the Meta glasses. I don't have a link that I can get a discount, but I did ask for a corporate account already.
Yep, that's true. That's true. And also I'm going to tell you a little nugget, because even like Veronica said, when I wasn't a luxury agent yet, because I had not sold up a luxury property yet, I was still trying to market myself as a luxury agent. And guess what? You will see these big Tiffany bags at my closing table for the regular houses, but guess what? They're two wine glasses that cost $25 each. That's $50. And it's just things that you have to think about, that it doesn't break the bank. It's still $50 for a closing gift is still very doable, right? Even no matter what the property cost is, and you can still create a big impression. So just think about who you are, what you want to do, who you want to attract, and what your brand represents, and go for it.
That is amazing. Veronica, you're talking. Do you have something else to say before we head out?
Just want to say as we wrap up, anybody else have any questions directly for Gabby? Because we have a couple little announcements we want to make. Just in case anybody has any other questions, we'd like to give them a chance to come on camera and ask the question live, and then we're going to dive into some announcements. Now's the time. No questions? Gabby, this was amazing, as always. Thank you for allowing me to jump in and hijack Tamika and share the screen and kind of give people a little bit of the visuals as to what Gabby's magic is. And guys, if you do have a question, still not too late as we wrap up. But in the meantime, until someone either speaks up, volunteers, or puts the question in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a reminder, a couple things. Build at C24. Build at C24 is our team, is our cruise for not just the Global Alliance, but all of EXP's who's who, builders, attractors, social media gurus, AI gurus, systems, team builders, you name it. We have the best of the best coming from all over. The dates are August 2nd through the 5th. We have a payment plan for you guys, for all you last minute procrastinators. I'm telling you, now is the time for you to say, okay, let me do this and do so, and I can budget it out. We are going out of Orlando, Port Canaveral, Utopia of the Sea. We still have rooms available. We don't want you to miss out. We don't want you to think, oh, I'm gonna wait till the last minute, because it will be sold out. We have agents from all over coming. Just to drop some names, we've got Gogo, we've got Ricky Caruth, we've got many of you guys. Gabby, are you
in? No.
Gabby's not in. She probably has a trip, but she wouldn't be there if I asked her to. Gabby. Yeah. Anyways, you guys definitely want to get your tickets if you are wanting to get it. Plus, you'll get icon credits. Plus, you'll get credits towards your stock if you're an icon agent. And last but not least, if you guys have not signed up for Revenos, if you guys have not signed up for EXP exclusives, guys, I'm telling you, it is something you're missing out on. I want you guys to make sure that you register for that. It is free to register. Right now, they have thousands of listings that they are placing with teams across the country, and I don't want you to miss out on it. So if you're not sure what markets are currently needing agents, hit me up. Feel free to send me a message, and I'll personally connect you with the head of the Revenos team, institutional services. I want to make sure that you guys don't miss out. Other than that, Damika, I'll let you close us out. I have nothing else to say.
No, I think this was amazing. I'm excited that I had an opportunity. Thank you, Rebecca, for giving me this opportunity to co-host this today with Veronica. So again, build at c24.com. And if you want to catch the mastermind, the replay again, you can go to globalallianceuniversity.com. And if there's no more questions, we are done. Have a great week, everyone. Get out there, get some open houses done, and have fun with it.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Damika. Thank you, Vero.